And so a lot of people think, well, I have to have faith that I'm going to do well. Well, faith is based on certainty. Faith is based on laws. There are laws that are made that tell you, if you do this, you get this. You've got to start following those laws, okay? One law that I'm going to stress to you today, guys, is you need to understand what the law of cause and effect is. You need to understand this law. If you don't understand this law, you're going to go crazy when you're 65 and you still have to work to pay your heating bill. Okay? If I do X, I have to expect a product of X. I can't expect something completely different. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. Okay? So, this is what you're able to do. You know how many people, if they have faith, this is what faith allows you to do. Faith allows you to have an exaggerated imagination and a complete disrespect for time. What do I mean by that? Faith allows you, when you can do anything because you know it's going to happen for you, so you just keep doing it, you will actually disrespect time. What does that mean? Watch this. You can actually make more in 1 year than someone can make in 47 years. You can actually make more in 1 minute than someone can make in a whole 365 days of working, sweating, and bleeding. That's how you disrespect time when you have faith. Okay? And when you have the ability to disrespect time, this is what you do. You don't say things like, well, if I was older, well, if I was younger and had more energy. You don't say those things because now you're not disrespecting time. And you speak that way because you lack faith. Okay? If you had faith, you would never ever say those things. So that mustard seed, do you see how small that is? That's all you need, guys. That's all you need. Okay, I want you to know 10 commandments for faith. I'm going to go through this fast. 10 commandments. Number 1, first you have to know the water's everywhere, you have faith. Okay? But when you replace it by mud, imagine a fish trying to swim in mud. What's going to happen? You feel like you can't breathe. You're suffocating, literally. You ever feel like that as a human? I'm telling you, you've forgotten that you have faith. You're searching for water, and you don't know where it is, but it's everywhere around you. Okay? So number 1, know that you have faith. Number 2, all written down here. You have to start with faith. Okay? Just like Barry said, you wake up in the morning happy. You wake up in the morning saying, today's going to be a great day. You don't wake up in the morning and say like, oh man, it's going to be a rough day. Why would you say that stuff? Okay? Start your day with faith. Second thing, and these are what entrepreneurial people know, guys. They start their business knowing, watch what's going to happen to this business. Okay? Watch what's going to happen to this business in 5, 10, 15 years. Okay? Every day they're excited. Entrepreneurs are the first people in the office and often the last people to leave the office. Okay? They are stayers, not starters, not just starters. Everyone is a starter. You get a great opportunity. How many droves of people love the opportunity? Oh yeah, that's good. Let me start that. But entrepreneurs are finishers. Entrepreneurs, they stay. They stay through the good, the bad, the ugly to get the prize in the end. Okay, that's the difference. They have faith. If you had faith, would you leave? If you knew you were going to succeed, would you leave? In my business, I tell people, if you knew in 10 years you could go on a beach, they're going to deposit money into your bank account, whether you wake up or not, would you leave? You lack faith. That's why you leave. Okay? Number 3, emphasize your capacities. Entrepreneurs do this, guys. They do what they're good at. Just like Barry said, you know you can't do everything, so find people that are good at other things. And you know what? When you maximize what you're good at, guys, you increase that thing. Go hang around. If you ever want to hear things that normal humans don't hear, go hang around some blind people. Why is that? Because people that are blind don't worry about looking to see. They can't see. So their hearing increases. Their hearing increases so that they can actually live a greater life in that sense. recognize what you're good at. You have to recognize your limitations also. Entrepreneurs are great at doing this, okay? And I wrote here, faith cannot educate a moron into Einstein. So be real. I have to go to, I believe in school, okay? I know you gotta go to school. You know what school does for you guys? School shows you that you need to put work to get effort into it. But a lot of people are trained to believe that school is going to give you your dream job. School isn't going to give you your dream job. School is just going to give you some basic principles that you have to implement into your life so that you can live and go find a dream job. So what Barry's saying is absolutely correct. Okay? The problem is most people believe that school, just because I show up to go to school, I'm going to get a good job. And this is why they think they can just show up to work and get paid. This is why they don't believe they have to plug into their workplace. They don't have to contribute to the workforce, okay? So maintain a spirit of humility. Where there's no humility, guys, miracles are never going to happen for you, okay? Your faith is going to grow so big one day that one day miracles will start to happen to you. Dare to make mistakes. Entrepreneurs are amazing at this. Why? Because they have faith. If you knew you were going to succeed, hands down, would you be afraid to take risks? They wouldn't even be called risks. They would be called the next step of action. They wouldn't even be called risks because there'd be nothing to risk. If people were in business and they knew they were going to succeed, would they be afraid to invest, $25 to make $1,000? No. You would never be afraid of that, okay? Don't measure yourself by others, guys. Faith makes you not compare yourself to others. Faith makes you know what's inside of you, and it doesn't make you look at other people and then start to say, well, this person has this, and I don't have that quality, that's why I don't do well, okay? Faith makes you know why you do well. It also makes sure that, number 9, if you wait for perfect conditions, you'll never get anything done. They don't demand perfection. That's what entrepreneurs don't do, okay? They keep moving, and the thing happens for them. And the last thing is they trust their heart. Faith allows you to trust your heart. There has to be something inside of you. The fish has to know that the water is everywhere. If you don't know this stuff, guys, it's not gonna work for you, okay? What did Darth Vader say about faith? What did he say? You guys don't know? You don't know? Zach, what did he say? Okay. He said, his famous line was, I am disturbed by your lack of faith. Okay? Some people's lack of faith is disturbing. You know how you know when it's disturbing? They literally disturb business. They go in there for a minute, a hot second, and they disturb, and they go somewhere else, and they disturb, and they go somewhere else. Stay where you are. Do well with what you have, and you will get to go to the next level. Does that make sense? Okay, stop disturbing. So these are the enemies of faith, guys. We talked about fear. You have to know that that's an enemy of faith. Whenever you have fear, you're lacking in faith. The next thing is failure, okay? Failure is you planting a seed of destruction. This is why it's important to do well. Okay, so when people say failure is a good thing, it's a good thing when you are really, really good, but in the beginning, you have to work so hard that there's very little room for failure. Okay? What I mean by this is you can't plant seeds that are going to, root and then grow into bigger things. Okay? If I have the greatest gallon, a huge gallon of pure water, it just takes one drop of failure, of poison, to ruin that whole bottle for me. Okay? And that big water is the opportunity. You need to experience success. Guys, when you experience success, you literally feel like you're walking on water. You literally feel like there's nothing that you cannot do. You know what happens to people? They keep experiencing failure everywhere they go, and they don't think it's them, they think it's the opportunity. And what that failure does is it ruins your faith. Okay? Last thing is faith. Faith is huge, guys. Okay? What faith does is it tells you why you think you're not doing well. You know when you hear people and they say, oh, it wasn't meant to be. Okay? Well, that's you going against faith again. If it's meant to be, you persist and you make it happen. That's what faith tells you you have the ability to do. Okay? And then fiction. This is important, guys, because just like we're talking in school, can a teacher give you intelligence? Can a teacher give a student intelligence? No. It is up to the student to want to be able to get smart. Okay? All right. Wrapping up. Okay? I want you to remember this for me. It is not in your DNA to fail. It is absolutely not in your DNA to fail. Whatever you think is in your DNA, you actually can change it. We just have the scientific backing now to know that. Okay? I'm going to finish with this. This is a really large guy saying, "Damn you, epigenome." Okay? He refuses to accept the message. He refuses to say, "There's no freaking epigenomes. I'm fat because my parents were fat, and their parents were fat." Okay? The buck stops with you. Okay? Entrepreneurs know that, guys. So they know this, and they change their ways, so they get a different result out of it. And that's cause and effect. If I want this effect, I have to have a different cause. Does that make perfect sense to you guys? Okay? I want Barry to really drill in the habits, because if you know the habits, if you know about task management, if you know all these things, these are the things that start to trigger you to live a different life. Okay? So I want to empower you to let you know that you do control your life. It doesn't matter who you're working for, who you report to, you are in control. And you can't say, "Damn you, epigenome." Because whether you believe in something or not, doesn't mean that that thing doesn't exist. Whether I believe in faith or not, doesn't mean that faith is not real. No. He can damn the epigenome all he wants. It's real. This shit is real. Now they have electron microscopes proving it. Before, in the past, they were like, "No, that's some foo-foo stuff." Foo-foo is fact now. Okay? You know what people are saying? Don't have a positive attitude. It's not a positive attitude. I highly recommend you get yourself a positive attitude, because it's scientific as to why you should. You will ruin your next generation and not set them up properly if you don't. Got it? Okay, thank you, Barry. Let's go, Barry. Barry's going to wrap up. He is going to tell us the environment that we need to live, the habits we need to have, so that we can ultimately gain the success, the level that we want to have. Okay? You guys are the number one person. You're driving the car. Okay? The same way you know when you're learning to drive a car, and the person beside you is so scared that they would step on the imaginary brakes, and you're like, "It doesn't matter what you push over there, it's not stopping the car." Like, I want for you to understand this. Entrepreneurs are in the driver's seat. So it doesn't matter who's hemming and hawing over here, or who's saying what. And in this business, just to get personal with you guys, I want for you to understand, being an entrepreneur is not normal in my family. I'm the first entrepreneur in my immediate family. The first entrepreneur. Everyone was so into their books, right? And people were like, "You are crazy. You better go back to school." They weren't even paying for it, and they were telling me to go to school. Okay? And what I had to do was I had to take what I thought was a risk at the time, but ultimately it's because when you have faith, it stops being a risk. Eventually it just says, whatever you want, whatever your mind can conceive, your body and your brain will achieve it for you. It's a fascinating thing. I hope and wish for all of you that you get to experience that one day.